Lock up your nerds.
It's Mechanoids.
Welcome to Mechanoids. Tonight, Mechanoids will rise or fall in 3 harsh arenas. Game 1, the furnace.
Oh, change this cabin hairs backwards.
Game 2, the nest.
Massive circular sword.
The doors are closing.
Game 3, alien hunt.
Sadistic.
Oh, in the name of all things good and pure.
Mechanoids, are you ready?
It's a dark, dank, dystopian nightmare world full of broken promises. And to guide you through it like an earnest, born-again virgin, it's myself, Nigel Wilson Craddock, shapeshifter, shirtlifter Buckland, and my convivial compere, Glenn Hugel.
Yes, have no fear. We are here to guide you through this terrifying theatrical chaos. We'll be right down here on the floor amongst the Mechanoids. We'll be counting up the points and slopping up the guts.
Tonight's contest will be between Brian Damage and Megabyte.
Not to forget the fearsome destroyers of all Mechanoids, the mighty Assassinoid and his hot-headed accomplice, Scorch. But let's not rush ahead of ourselves. Let's have a look at tonight's 2 new competitors.
Brian Damage was created in Derbyshire by a software engineer and biker with an unusual name, Frog Twizzle.
Frog, Glenn!
Frog's mech stands 1 meter high, weighs 52 kilos, and uses a 12-volt battery to power a tricky but effective electro-hydraulic powertrain.
This also incorporates a motor salvaged from a Sinclair C5 electric trike. Megabyte was created in Hemel Hempstead, which is in Libya or somewhere, from several Land Rover parts, an Austin Maxi boot strut, and 3 wheelchair motors combined to produce a whopping 400-to-1 gearing ratio. He weighs in at a sturdy 100 kilos and comes complete with a fire-tracing extinguisher. Yeah, so who's it going to be, Glenn? Could it be the Bronze Age trident-wielding, tree-hugging, biomechanical mech with a strap-on accoutrement?
Or will it be the rapid-armed tough boy cannibalized from the still-warm carcass of the British car industry and the NHS?
We don't know, do we? So let's play Furnace!
Yes, Furnace takes place in a terrifying arena where bombs can go off in your face.
And there's the double jeopardy of total incineration by flamethrower! Brilliant! That's just what we want to see!
Circuits shot all to hell. So, there you have it. Like the physically challenged entering a public library, this game requires careful driving up and down ramps.
Amazingly accurate pick-and-place eye-to-claw coordination and brilliant spatial awareness, rather like a robot picking up space dust on Mars.
Oh, yes, and everything's on fire.
Megabyte, I call you to the furnace. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anarchy!
Megabyte, up and at him. He's got a massive pincer on him, driven and focused straight towards the sticks of dynamite. But let's see if he's got that gentleness of grip to pull those sticks off.
Kane Aston at the helm, supremely confident as ever. He thinks they're going to win this event, given that he has coated Megabyte in something called Pyroflex, which apparently will automatically put out any fire.
Incineration.
Okay.
8,
Oh, he's crucially to be in the centre of it just as they blast him.
5,
He's going to get it right in his stomach.
20 points.
1.
Look out for that flamethrower!
Oh, sorted. He's on fire.
Oh, he's done well, though. It looks like
Third-degree burn.
it wasn't just big talk from Kane from Welwyn Garden City. Apparently,
He's still aflame.
they've been practicing on scaffolding for this event.
Oh, there you did. What's that?
Incineration.
Harassing women on the street then.
Get them out for the lads.
7.
Look at that.
6.
Go on.
5, 4, 3.
Going for the really
2,
high-scoring
1.
bomb pop, and he's right in the middle!
Yes!
Oh,
Factor 10,
yes,
that
that is terrifying. Look at that! Where's your self-extinguishing mechanism now, Megabyte?
Oh, there's a certain certitude to his gripping there, but it's slipping off.
Yes, they've altered his arm, and they've rotated and tweaked his arm.
You know what they say?
That's what he told me.
You can't hurry, love. Well, you can't. You just tighten your grip and go faster.
Incineration.
He's got another one.
8.
Again,
Backing
the
down
timing
that
is
time.
all wrong.
Very impressive operating
4.
there.
3.
Here we are.
And it's in!
Excellent, nice explosion.
0.
And
Still the
he's
flames
up
are going.
and out of danger. Fantastic work there. This robot, of course, remember, made out of Land Rover parts, so the hills are proving no problem.
I think they've used a bit of an old cigarette machine in him as well, and a bit of Chad Valley Children's organ.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
can see it.
mishmash of engineering.
6.
But those flames are
3,
getting higher, and I'm starting to worry
1,
about a plume of
0.
smoke. He's very definitely in some kind of electronic problem.
I can actually hear him going, help me, help me, help me, like Mick Hacknell stuck in the bath. Come on, it's the last one. Come on.
Incineration.
Do it for your mother.
8.
Do it for your father.
Picks up another sherbet dip dab.
Do it for George Lucas. Come on,
I think
we'll
it's gonna
get you in the
work
next
quick.
Star Wars, we promise you.
0.
Fantastically well done. It's game over, but it's 80 points. Excellent performance, but at what price? Look at that.
Oh, look out! He decided to chuck himself off the side.
Well, now Megabyte's future seems to be hanging by a fishwire thin thread. But he must have been sweating coolant somewhere on his circuits, because he did put in a stunning performance grabbing hold of those fuel cells with total speed and conviction.
Megabyte. You have 80 points.
Just completed the furnace, where we had a fantastic performance. The base turns, we can get very fine control on it, and the same with the arm. The flames was quite an experience, quite amusing. The Mechanoids actually got a built-in fire extinguishing system which would extinguish any flame that started off inside Megabyte. I think we've got one of the best Mechanoids here.
Snaffled down those 80 points, nutritious and delicious. Good result, eh?
Yes, but it is a score that Brian Damage can beat if he can manage to get maximum points.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anarchy!
Brian Damage in the event that's really testing the metal of the Mechanoids. Furnace.
Frog Twizzle
Oh,
is in charge of this robot.
Come on, get your swizzle stick hand sorted.
He may have an advantage here because he's operated by telemetry, which means that Frog's arms are this robot's arms.
Incineration. 8, 7, 6, 5.
He's going, oh, so slow. Oh, it's like waiting for death.
Get ready, license players. This is what you can pay your fee for. Oh! No, he just about managed to get away from that one, and he's dropping it in the
Right
lesser
in the
basket.
bit, he went for the coward's option, but that, of course, is very sensible when you are a bit of a maniac, which he undoubtedly is.
He certainly is that. Look at him there. Come on, Brian.
So he's got 10 points in the bag, and he's sizing up his next fiery victim.
He's all sweaty and slimy as well. Wouldn't want to touch him. Don't touch him.
Very jerky as he goes in there, but he's got that little claw fist around it there, and now he's trying to yank it out.
Lift and separate. Go on.
Go on, Brian, give it a yank. No, he nearly slipped through his fingers, but he held on to it. Now, will he go? Will he go for the higher scoring bin? Or will he run away like a frightened girl?
Let's see it. Let's be having it. Blast him. Oh, they missed him again. He's gone for the lesser bin.
Oh, he keeps going for the lesser bins. He's avoiding those fiery furnaces.
20 points.
Now here comes Scorch. Scorch is giving him the evil eye.
He must be suffering from repentant
It's perfectly
strain injury.
possible. And in fact, I'm beginning to think that Frog has gone round secretly and disarmed the flamethrowers because he seems to be getting away scot-free.
Is that intelligent telemetry? And he's got a reinforced back.
Incineration. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Will those
3,
flamethrowers clean out, or has he disabled
1.
I
them
bet he never
successfully?
envisaged this. Don't even need to see it.
No, he's taken a blow to the fist.
That's more
Oh,
like
that
it.
has got to hurt.
Get out of the frying pan! Get out of the fire!
Get out of the way. Oh,
Look at me as if he's dropped his guts!
His innards are out.
We can smell them from here!
Oh, no, bitter irony. Brian Damage is Brian Damage.
Mechanical failure indeed.
Cautious or cowardly, you decide.
Finger down.
Yes, he clearly made a decision to go for the safer, low-scoring bin, knowing full well that even getting all 5 cells in there would not be enough.
That performance wasn't all that good. We were a bit unlucky in one or two respects, but it seemed to be the way to go. So we stuck with that arrangement.
Brian Damage, you timid thing. You've got 30 points. But Megabyte, you lead with 80 points.
But don't speak too soon. Only someone who was half man, half vegetable would write off Brian Damage at this point.
Brian's out. One of the more aesthetically interesting mechs, Brian Damage, unquestionably awesome to behold, looking like a part-decomposed equine cyborg sea beast. What sick, twisted, fetid mind could have dreamt up such a creature? Wherever you travel in this fair land, Buxton, Derbyshire, for example, there shall remain a small corner that will forever be populated by eccentrics, or in the case of Frog Twizzle, absolutely barking mad people. Welcome to Brian Damage's boudoir.
This is Brian, our robot. Bit of a mixture of sort of art versus engineering. I've done a bit of engineering just sort of as a hobby, really. I've never been paid for anything. Yeah, I do it. I play around with metal and find out how it works.
Mere mortals would say, oh, I need a new engine, or I need this or that. Frog would have the engine out and have parts of it in his front room, and
for years sometimes.
And it would work.
But amongst all this gubbins, hair and rubbish, a brilliant plan has formed in Frog's brain pan, and here he is, like, really selling it.
We've got some, I think, unique ideas that we're using that will maybe give us an edge.
The operating system utilizes biometric telemetry. Basically, Frog's the puppet master and Brian must do his bidding.
Once we park the robots up approximately where we need to get to something, we can reach out. And then any movement I make, the robot copies.
Both Frog and myself have to work in concert, and I've got to make sure I put the robot in the right place for Frog to do his stuff with the tools. I think it's been great. We've had input from Frog's brother on the pump, and it's superbly built, and input from our artistic director Neil. And as you can see, it's certainly looking as though it's going to do the job.
Gasp in awe, this is biometric telemetry in action. The mech mimics the operator's movements, even down to that vacant, blank, expressionless face. But despite all that top-shelf technology, Brian was nearly flame-grilled in the furnace, so what's the damage, governor?
The piping's been changed from a 6mm to an 8mm pipe to try and get more fluid through quickly. That seems to have had some positive effect. But there's lots of other subtle changes that need to be made before Brian can come and reign victorious in Mechanoids.
Yes, there's still plenty more points to be won in the nest.
Yes, the nest could have Brian's name written all over it. Brian, 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 Brian.
In previous episodes of Mechanoids, the nest has proved incredibly influential on scores for the whole contest.
Yes, watch Mantis's controversial rapid-fire mechanism and Gomez's total disaster that led him going out of the contest. Let's remind ourselves of just how it all works.
Shoot the door target to gain access to Chamber 1. Pull down a carnelid head to gain access to Chamber 2.
Once in the firing zone, mechs have just 30 seconds to hit the alien targets. 2 points for the outer rim, 10 for a bullseye right in the face.
But if they don't get out in time, they lose half their points. So who's up first?
Brian Damage, I call you to the nest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Haruki!
Brian Damage with that unique virtual reality telemetry design. Frog Twizzle at the controls, a fantastic robot to look at, but not a great deal of success so far.
Aye, that's the first door open there. Their strange sort of skeleton equestrian type head as he barrels on down to the fetoids, which he has to blast. Go on, sort them out. Get him with your gripper.
Look at that machine, it really is a work of art. There's a lot of us will be very sorry if he gets trapped in here and melted down for scrap.
Mechanoid, Doors closing
Flash
in
of
30
smoke
seconds.
from the end of that gun, and
That's right, rid
yes,
yourself
in
of
fact,
the
he's shooting
Good
very
aim, look at that.
accurately.
Bang on.
Proving very successful so far, as you can see. Much more human-like control than any of the others. Just barely too high to score bullseyes.
He's just stuck in this sort of repeat mode of blasting the same bit. He can't stop himself. Look at him.
Fantastic effort.
10 seconds left.
Mechanoid. Doors closing in
He
5,
turns warm.
Fantastic
3,
effort there.
2, 1.
Oh, he's stuck on the lip. He's stuck on the lip.
Oh, a bit of Megabyte.
Game over.
Well, for all my worth, that seemed like textbook stuff.
It certainly did, so let's count up those all-important hits.
Ryan Damage! At last you're worthy of this contest. You've scored 110 points.
We had a far from successful start, but we made up big style and just managed to squeak through, which was amazing.
Yeah, well, I reckon Megabyte thought he'd have it easy, Iron Lung.
Yes, but now he's going to have to work like a big wet beaver to stay on top.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anarchy!
Megabyte like a newborn cuckoo, throwing the little blue-tit hatchlings out of the nest onto the hard ground below.
Yes, gentlemen, we can rebuild him after their roasting in furnace. Kane Aston and his team have pieced their shattered creation back together.
Programmed with a dirty, filthy mind like someone we can't mention on Prozac.
Now, he is rather worried, though. Ken did tell me that any serious knocks and Megabyte could be reduced to a pile of smouldering ash.
Extend those incisors, grab at the chain and yank it for all it's worth, why don't you?
Important not to forget, though, of course, that he is extremely well placed. He kind of sacrificed himself in the last game and could easily win this competition with a few well-timed shots here.
Sorting this out in no time. Get rid of that thing, you don't need anymore. And where are you going now? You're facing the rock. That's right, sort it out. Get up there.
There's the number plate on the back there. I feel duty-bound to point out that making fake number plates is, in fact, illegal.
Ooh, there's one for the Duchess.
That one just kind of stunned it.
Shot after shot, raining down on the pulpy mass of the target. Megabyte loving it. 10 seconds left.
Mechanoid. Doors closing in 5, 4,
Oh, he's gonna...
3.
He's flying through there.
He flew backwards, but it's been a poor performance, surely. Game over.
Megabyte is very cute, especially with using the binnacle for a head. It makes it look very adorable. We have let Megabyte down a little bit with control, but if Megabyte could speak, I don't know what it would say. I think it's very happy.
Cease that geek speak.
Yes, indeed. Crucially, what did he score? Yes, there was a fair degree of slow shooting action, both at the head and at the rim. How does it all add up?
Megabyte, you scored only 62 points.
So, there you have it. Is Megabyte, the irascible, tough little techno trooper, finally running out of amphetamine?
And what does this mean for that little fire-fearing goblin of the woods, the hilariously named Brian Damage?
Megabyte, 142 points. Ryan Damage, 140 points.
It's mighty close. Megabyte is clinging to the lead like a dog napper. But where does this adorable little scamp come from? Time to find out. Several weeks ago, we journeyed to Hemel disguised as a flat-roofed housing estate, where we secretly filmed 3 wise men in a lean-to shed at the back of a bungalow, for there was no room at the inn. But lo, inside, Megabyte is born, and they praise the Lord of the Rings.
It's basically built itself, as we do with the majority of our robots. We don't actually design it, we actually just let it design itself as we build it with parts that we find and bits that we make up. The majority of it's built from Land Rover parts. This is the dashboard where you normally have the speed dials of an old Range Rover. On the front and the back, we've got these grills which are normally found on the front of a Land Rover, which cover the headlamps on an old series Land Rover. We've got the waist, which is actually the front diff of a Range Rover. Then we've got the flywheel, which is out of a V8 Land Rover engine. But then on the back, we've got the back pieces where we will have lights flashing yellow and red lights, as what you find again on the back of Land Rover.
If you live near Hemel Hempstead and your Land Rover's been nicked, write to us at the usual address.
We've kept a lot of the design very simple, like rather than having many movements on the shoulder and the wrists and that, we've just gone for a simple straight arm, which we're going to, obviously on that side, mount the hand to. So there's nothing that can fail, basically. The rest of it's just standard Dexian shelving. Obviously it all comes pre-drilled, designed for building shelving units out and that, so you just bolt it together. When you're designing something for the first time, it's a lot easier when you can take it apart and put it back together again.
To demonstrate, here's one he prepared earlier. Look, now it's apart, and now it's together again.
We fancy our chances. We've got the experience with designing mechanics like this, so we're not going to have a problem with stuff failing because we've done it before and we know what to look out for and know what works. Simple, reliable design. And that's, I think, where we'll win.
Mech and mech are now neck and neck. Get ready for Mechanoids on the grandest scale. It's Alien Home! In previous contests, this game has proved harder than it looks. Many and varied strategies have been used to hack, chop, and generally delimb the aliens.
Watch how Mechatron uses a barging technique, not terribly effective, while Sidewinder's technique proved more successful. If you're the size of Marauder, then you can always just pull the aliens off the chains. But no one was more successful than Lil Kyodai with his swing ball technique.
The Carnelids are proving very tricky and a huge distraction for the bigger, slower Mechanoids. Buzzcut chased them all round the ring and scored precisely nothing. But when the weapon's in the right place, big points are on offer. Look at Gomez gutting that poor little sod. Tragic.
The final 30 seconds, the shootout with the Assassinoid has given us everything from a square dance to a premature bullseye. But if you can get as many shots in on the Assassinoid as Sidewinder did, then you're going to score big, big points.
So let's remind ourselves how the scoring works. As ever, there are two hanging aliens, dead of course, where the mechs can score points for surgical limb removal.
Once the little Carnelids come into play, it's 5 points for a run over, but a much healthier 20 points for spearing kills. Stick him!
Finally, the Assassinoid enters the bout. Any shots the mech can get into him score points, but if he hits the mech's target, it's game over.
Yeah, so this is a game where the Mechanoids can really go out on a limb. 8 bloody limbs, to be exact.
Megabyte! I call you to the arena! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anarchy!
The lights are on, but who's at home? Megabyte enters the fray. I'm expecting great things from Mechanoid. Go on! Wrestle him, wriggle him!
Now this Mechanoid has been put together from scrap pieces of Land Rovers, if you please. But its main weapon is a pneumatic claw, which is not, as I understand it, standard equipment on a Freelander.
5 points there.
Yeah, now, look at that. That's not something you would want done to you, is it?
I'll look at that in slow motion later.
I think we might have to show that to the police, quite possibly. Oh, yes, but it's proved effective. 1-2 legs off. He's up to 15 points.
Legless there, spinning around. Yes, that pitchfork's great stuff.
He's got his eyes on the Carnelids now. He's looking to up the ante.
Come on, yes. Oh, there he goes.
He's forked him! He's forked him! It's a weapon kill!
Look at that! All his guts is hanging out. He's dragging him along there, laughing.
Like a tasty dinner morsel, he had him on his plate.
Look at him spinning about his pincer going up and down. Here comes the assassin. Go! What can he do now, this late juncture? 40 points on the table. Brilliant score. Has he got him? Has he got him? We can't see from this angle. Let's have a look at it. Oh, yes, it's game over. Oh me, oh my, what a feisty freaking guy.
Let's take a look-see. Well, if Megabyte's got one thing, it's a whopping great claw, and he used it well there to keep a purchase on that swinging alien until those limbs were off. And what about that pitchfork? Nothing very clever about it until you see it in red-hot thrusting action.
But what impressed me the most when he's got his hits on the Assassinoid as the doors are opening and in the final throws, adding bonuses to his 40 points. He must be cock a hoop.
I'm quite pleased with the performance in there. The grabber's basically rather nice. We've got some blood on it, we've got some carnelids picked up, all adds to battle scars. Then the Assassinoid came out, which we got, I think, 5, maybe 6 shots on from the paintball gun, and eventually we were nabbed by him, so end of round.
Megabyte, you got 6 hits on the Assassinoid, scoring a total of 70 points.
Has Brian got the gonads?
And are they full?
Well, so far we've seen Brian the strong and Brian the weak. And now we're about to find out, who the heck is this mech?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Araki!
Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Well, yes, actually, it's Brian Damage. Hi there, how you doing?
And he comes, he looks like he means business, that horse-like face with teeth all aglay.
Lightweight, skipping around. There's the operator. Frog there.
Frog's looking for his first points with Brian here.
There's a
Brian,
leg.
nice work! 1 leg, 2 legs down! Excellent work!
Good, yes.
Oh, he's going to be very pleased with that beginning. Brian is showing his true colours.
10 points on the board.
He's got him swinging now, though. It can be tricky to
There's
score any
another
points,
one.
but he's got
15
it!
in the can.
Like an excellent tennis player, he hits it when it's moving.
Here's a can lid. Is it going to bother him? I don't think so.
15 points already. He's up to 20. There's another 5 points there. Very clearly, definitely a roadkill.
Yes, indeed. Yes, there's a prawn-looking can lid on the deck. There's another leg. Shouldered off.
2 legs, 2 for the price of 1. He's up to 30 points. My goodness, Brian's having a field day.
It's a lightweight Mechanoid, but it's really doing the business in there. Come on now. What's left for him to do? Why don't yank off the whole torso? He's got a great pitchfork there. He's forking away crazy, but here's the Assassinoid.
The Assassinoid's eyeing him up. Now look at the size difference there. He must be terrified. He is actually. Yes, he's doing a bit of spinning.
I think he's snagged on a can lid, but he's got 30
He's
points.
worried. He's right in range. He needs to get out of range. Move, Brian. Move, Brian. Move.
Dance, wherever you may be, for he is the Lord of the dance, said he.
Look at him turning around like a music box that's wound by a key.
Game over.
That was colon-tastic. Let's take another look.
He started out with a leg and an arm, and then another leg before it all went ball-shaped and ballistic.
Yes, a roadkill, closely followed by a double alien amputation. And then what about this?
Yes, he dodges the Assassinoid like a sprite, strafing out return fire as he goes.
Now remember, dearest viewers, with those points already in the bag, now winning or losing will depend on
These bonus points scored against the Assassinoid. It sure looks like a lot, but is it enough? Brian Damage needs 9 bonus points, otherwise he's going to go home with his tail tucked between his legs.
Brian Damage, I count 7 bonus hits. Your total score is 65 points.
tragedy. It's all over for Brian Damage.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. Let's see how close he came.
Brian Damage, 205 points. Megabyte, 212 points.
So here we are at the end of tonight's contest, and we have a winner, Megabyte. It's been a close shave though, only 7 points in it. So all hail the gallant loser. Sorry, Brian, close but no cigar.
But lo, verily on the streets of Hemel Hempstead there shall be much rejoicing. Megabyte is victorious. Next time on Mechanoids, witness the medieval monster that is Dark Knight.
Taking on the silent but deadly Miss Calvin Can. Look at her go! Crazy!
We'll see you next week on Mechanoids.
Up next on BBC Three, it's Rough Diamonds.